This is a TP-LINK TL-SG1016 16-port gigabit Ethernet switch, which I of course picked out of the trash a couple of days ago. I do not know where this thing came from, I do not know why it was discarded, but I figured we'd take it apart and have a look inside. It seems to be relatively recent, actually. Oh well, it comes apart like all other rack mount gear, couple of screws, metal case. Going to buy you with that. Alright, all the screws are out, so let's see what we got. Oh, this certainly, wow, that's a proper big heatsink. This must be related to my current 8-port switch, because that also has a giant heatsink. No fan. Passively cooled, so it might not use that much power. It doesn't seem to have any obviously bad caps in it, so it might be that this thing won't be coming back to life. Mains fuse is okay. I haven't tried this thing, I actually don't know if it works. We've got a capson there. Yeah, more capson there. It seems to be 100% capson in the power supply. Probably runs on a single 12-volt rail or something. We have 12 volts, 2 amps. Do we have a brand on this? Qingjong. It's a Chinese generic power supply. Samsung on the mainboard though, so that's a pretty nice surprise. Really nothing obviously wrong with this thing, so let's just pair it on and see what it does. Alright. Explosion hazard. Drawing a what? Seems to be entirely dead. Yeah, not a noise out of a power supply, so perhaps we do have a dead power supply. Yep, there's not a millivolt coming out of that, so now the question is it going to spring to life if we just pop this out without sticking our fingers in the mains? Still dead. Yep, still dead. So, seems we've just got a dead power supply of this thing. Well, that's nice news. This thing's generic enough to be very easily replaceable. So let's just power this device out of the LED power supply and see if the actual switchboard springs to life. Alright, I've gone with the wild assumption that red is going to be positive and black is going to be negative, so let's see what it does. Drawing some power, we've got an LED now, so I'd wager that board's okay. Yep, stuck some networking into it and it seems to be working a-okay. Yep, copying at proper gigabit speeds for 100 and something megabytes per second. So we've certainly got a working switchboard and a bad power supply, so let's just pop it and see if there's anything obviously wrong with it. Okay, just had a quick poke about this thing and it seems to have two very obvious issues. The first I found was that this little cap here, the one by the heatsink, a 47 microfarad 50 volt, seems to be entirely open circuit. But more surprisingly, the primary cap V47400 also seems to be entirely open circuit according to my meter. So I'm going to have to desolder those and double check this one. It's very rare for the primary caps to go bad, especially when they are properly 400 volt rated. But this one's certainly going to be an issue. Alright, I replaced the two bad caps, which are indeed obviously bad. I don't have any really suitable 47 microfarad 400 volt caps, so I just snagged one out of an old laptop power supply, and it's a wee bit tall. It might require a few rounds of tape around the top in order to not be entirely unsafe once the case is on, but it'll do for testing purposes. Now, when these primary caps go bad, things tend to get ugly, so I wouldn't be surprised if this thing is toast. But I will give it a go. I'll just put it back there. We'll see. Okay, moment of truth. Is it going to go bang or is it going to go poof? Well, neither. There we go. Let's hook that back to the switch. We've still got power there. And we've got a power LED. So I'd wager this thing's going to work perfectly now under its own power. Yeah, it seems to be talking. Are we going to be able to... I don't care about rebooting. Can we... Yes, we can. So there you go. That's a very quick and dirty TP-LINK TL-SG1016 repair. And what we'll need to do is make sure that cap in there doesn't cause a fire or life hazard, but a few proper rounds of tape is going to take care of that. And if you're curious, the power consumption of this thing seems to be just about 7 or 8 watts with the internal power supply while it's transferring files. With the lab PSU it measured about 300 milliamps, so this internal power supply isn't particularly efficient, since the 300 milliamps at 12 volts is about 3.6 watts. But you can't have everything. It probably gets a bit more efficient on the higher load when you actually put some more stuff into all of them holes right there. And yes, I did replace all the caps. I wouldn't leave it half-assed like that. It's even got the protective plastic still on the front. Oh yeah. Oh no. That's a good feeling. Cheerio.